Welcome. My name is Misha. I'm a bathroom renovation contractor from northern New Hampshire. My wife and I design and renovate bathrooms every single day. That's what we do for a living. In this video, I'm going to show you how to tear out a shower insert and get it ready for tile. There's a few challenges that we're going to run into, and I'll show you how to solve those. If there's anything that I'm skipping over, or if there's anything that I can kind of double click on, make sure to comment and let me know, because I want to get better at sharing my knowledge, and I want to make sure that you guys can actually build a bathroom from start to finish just following my content. So let's get into it. Welcome everybody, it's Misha with Winnie Designs, and today I'm going to show you how easy it is to renovate a little bathroom like this, especially the shower. We're going to be focusing on that. We're going to take out this insert and do a really cool walk-in shower with subway tile. My goal is to show you that you can actually do this on your own and how easy it actually is. So make sure that you hit that subscribe button and then follow along. We're going to time lapse this entire thing, and I hope that you can follow. If there's something that I'm missing, make sure that you leave a comment so that on the next one I can do better. Let's get into it. All right, so the first thing we're going to do here is basically take apart the shower valve and take the shower head off just so we can demo around it. The soffit that's here is basically built around this light because the old school lights were so hot that you had to have these soffits there to basically not make a fire. Then we're going to start knocking out the drywall around the perimeter of the tub and start breaking it out. As simple as that. All right, so our demo is done. So now comes a part where you have to reassess the situation and see what are you working with and kind of where we're going to go. So here are some of the obstacles that we have. One, we have this heating pipes that are running right through the back of our shower. So this is going to get in the way of us just having a nice square shower. So we'll have to deal with that. And then on this side, our supply lines are also coming up right through the shower. So we're going to have to deal with those and have to move them back into there. Then when we were talking about the top of it here, the vent pipe for the whole house also kind of comes into our room here, so we'll have to figure out that. And then the exhaust vent also is running through our shower, so we'll have to deal with that. But this happens all the time with just old houses and just construction in general. There's always unforeseen things behind the walls, but we do know how to fix it, and we'll fix it, and I'll show you how. All right, so the first thing is going to be is to disconnect that recessed light, so then we can not have that in the way as we're removing the soffit. First thing we're going to tackle here is actually drilling the hole for that the vent pipe. So that exhaust vent pipe, we had enough room in that beam that we could just drill right through it and then vent it out right through that beam and outside basically where it was going. So that was kind of lucky on that side. And then we're going to start looking at what to do with this bathroom vent. Basically that's the main vent for the entire house, and there's not much that we could have done there in regards to moving it around. So we just had to basically make this little angled wall. And the way I do those usually is just start on the sides and then kind of connect the dots. This way you can basically stay true to having the two sides, have a nice level line at the bottom, and then kind of fill in the middle. Then lastly, once we do this, we're going to get the light in just so we can have that light that will be there for the rest of the shower, so we can make sure that we're seeing everything first. Plus, I want to make sure it looks good on the video. So we'll finish that up as well. All right, so our ceiling is done. We're able to build this kind of faux soffit around that elbow that's coming out. So our cement board is going to come down here, pass here, and then kind of hang over it right into there. Our light is in, and then we rerouted our fan. That's it for the ceiling. Now we're going to focus on the floor. All right, so the first thing we're going to do here is actually cut our tile because it was sticking out a little too far in to where we wanted to have the front of our shower. So I'm just going to cut it, run away out of the room to let the dust settle, and then start chiseling that out. Once we do that, we're gonna start working on the framing. The issue that we had in this actual shower is that the framing was so old that it was only 2 inches, and we needed 3.5 inches in order to set our valves. But actually it also helped us with our plumbing because the plumbing was kind of coming out weird. So in order to set your wall plumb, we're going to set our 2 outside pieces there on the one side and the other side nice and plumb, and then again do the connect the dot kind of trick where I'm going to hold my level and then, you know, kind of stick it out and then screw those in. Once that is done, we're going to start working on our bench, and that's to hide those other pipes that we're going there. We're going to have not a bench, but it's going to be like a soap shelf all the way across. It's going to look really, really cool. But that's how we were dealing with that, and then just patch the floor in with a few blocks and build our curb. And the curb here is just going to be 2 pieces of 2x4 tall. And then put a little bit of skirting around the perimeter just so we can do our mud job a little bit easier. All right, so next we got to relocate the P-trap, redo the valve, and then raise the shower head. I'm going to skip over this part because I'm not allowed to make these types of videos at other people's houses or as a contractor legally work at somebody's house because I'm not a plumber. But there will be a link right here basically on how to do this stuff. If you guys want to make sure that you're doing it right, I'll show you that in that video that I'm going to make at our studio because I can do that. But you as a homeowner, you are allowed to do plumbing on your own house. So just keep that in mind. Don't freak out about it. Don't overthink it. So we're going to skip over that part. Then when we get back, we're going to get to the subfloor and then start closing this thing in. This has been in grind, so I'm looking forward to that. All right, well, here it is, the mud job, what everybody's been waiting for. So for us, because we have that mess on the left side, I'm going to put these little dams. Essentially, they're 1/2 inch, just pieces of cement board that's going to raise my sides so then I can create that pre-slope funnel. Make sure that you're putting that thin set down first, and then you're putting that, your deck mud on top of that, so then you can create that funnel to the drain itself. This way I didn't have any of that thin set falling in or anything like that. So once we flatten that out and make sure it's nicely pitched, we're going to work on our pan liner. Pan liner can be a pain in the butt. You see that here I'm using kind of the back side of my trowel here to kind of scrape it off and create that nice smooth surface. Check the level, make sure that it's nicely pitched. And here we go, we're taking off the clamping ring there, putting that silicone around it. The silicone around it will fail your shower. If you don't put that on or put that there, it will fail your shower. Anytime that there's ever a shower failure, it could be there. Like most of the times it's there. So make sure that you're not doing that. I am stapling around. I'm using screws to just kind of put that up. As you see, basically when I put that in, if you want to rewind that, as I put that in, I cut it perfect to size. So then I squeeze in those corners because that's notorious for your pan liner to be pushing out those corners there. And then I'm gonna do like the top of that shelf as well. But that's what you'll see me doing more. You will see me drill right through the curb, and before you guys freak out on me, watch till the end of the video to see what I do with it as well, to see that the entire thing does get waterproofed. None of this stuff will get wet. So me screwing through my curb will be okay, I promise. I've done this so many times. I've never had an issue with that or a callback about a leak or anything like that. So I guess trust me on that. If not, like, I don't know. All of this stuff I'm just cutting with my box cutter. Super simple, nothing special there. And then I'm going to be using my thin set to just kind of go around and patch in some of the bigger holes. So here's what I was talking about in terms of the curb. I am screwing right through the curb. On the back side here, I'm not using a lot, but you see how I bowed out that cement board is so that we could push out those corners and kind of create that better corner there. So I usually do my 2 side pieces and then I do my top piece. So then there's a little better kind of drainage there. We're going to put fiberglass mesh around that as well as we're waterproof to create that, even better waterproofing around that to make it stronger there. So this is what I was talking about, just kind of going through the corners themselves before, just kind of creating a better surface here. This is before I do any waterproofing. So now we're going to be figuring out our mud job itself. Extra thin set that I had there, I just threw it there. You don't have to do that, but I just had some. And then I'm using my laser here. I don't see a lot of people doing this way, but I love doing it this way because one, it doesn't get my levels super dirty. I just put the laser right in the middle and then I have that line going around. Anytime you're doing a mud job, you want to get the perimeter nicely level and then you just taper off to the bottom, to the inside. It's super, super easy. So get the perimeter nice level, then you can take the laser away, put the drain in, and then you taper off those sides into the middle there. That's what we did there. Next, we were doing waterproofing. And you see I'm using a 6-inch fiberglass mesh here to get all those corners waterproofed. I'm using RedGuard here. I'm going 2 coats here. We're going to be rolling out our walls here to do 2 coats and then around the perimeter at the bottom as well. So again, any of those holes that I put in there before are getting covered like twice. So there's no water getting in there. Because we did the pre-slope, no water is going to wick up. I feel comfortable about like doing it that way. So as you can also see, like the entire pan itself is getting waterproofed all the way to the center, but I do leave a little bit of that center open so that the water could get to the weep holes, the ones that does get under the tile itself. So I did this a little bit backwards just so I had a good camera angle so you guys could see it better. But now I'm just kind of finishing up the stuff that I didn't do before. So I did do this a little bit backwards. When you guys do it, finish doing all your cement board and then do all your waterproofing. I wanted to keep that camera angle so you guys could see that a little bit better. So I did it a little bit backwards there. But now we're just gonna finish that up and then start working on our waterproofing as well on this. It's really, I'm used to using like the KBRS boards. They're like polyurethane, basically. They're like whatever, foam boards. I like this so much better than cement board. There's so much work involved with cement board. Cement board has to be waterproof. Like you have to put some type of waterproof. Aqua Defense, RedGuard, Hydra Band, the KBRS waterproofer. It has to be waterproof. You can't just have raw cement board behind your tile because it will take in moisture and it will mold over time. And that's usually why some of the showers fail. So we don't want to see any of that. So now, again, I'm using my 6-inch fiberglass strip and I'm going to go around all the corners to basically reinforce it with that and just kind of applying it with RedGuard. And then as I'm going here, I'm going to try to get 2 coats of RedGuard around that. Also, you see my butt joints, my joints where my cement board meet. I'm also putting my fiberglass strip there. To make sure that that's covered. And for the walls, you usually want to have at least 2 coats. On the floor, you want to have 2 to 3 coats. When you're looking at the walls and you're doing the first coat, you'll see these little pinhole like holes. You want to make sure that those are covered up. That's why it takes a minimum of 2 passes to cover those up, because the first pass basically sucks in all the waterproofing and the second pass covers it. If you guys enjoyed this video, please hit subscribe, comment below, let me know what I could do better, and let's get to part 2 where I start to tile this bad boy.